I suppose, yeah. Just another really mature at bat in that situation, you know. Tie game, gets himself into a really good count and doesn't try and do too much. I mean, that's just go to the big part of the field with nose to the ball and just a great swing and a really mature at bat. And then more good stuff in the field tonight. I mean, that play he makes on Trout to his left, because he got in on Trout, so he didn't hit it real hard. That's not an easy play when you're dealing with the lip and going to your left, and you got to make sure you secure the ball. And he's been terrific.
How is he able to slow things down and really make it look easy?
He's worked really hard to be here, and I've had that conversation with him where, you know, he says, I've been preparing for this, you know, my whole life, and certainly the last several years coming up in the minor leagues. And I think he just plays the game with a lot of confidence. But I think his intelligence is very evident. But when you combine intelligence and instincts and talent, you're looking at what's been a very special player for us.
What'd you think of Aaron Judge's night defensively?
Oh, it's about as good as it gets right there. I mean, those two throws, I thought he was, when he first let go, I'm thinking, all right, he's going with the long hop because it was so low, and that thing just carried right through, and Gary finished it off nicely. And then the next one, at first I almost thought like he just was conceding the double and kind of flat-footed in there, and Didi made a great tag on it. But just, I mean, those are two special throws that Aaron made, and obviously when you're playing a one-run game and a low-scoring game, you know, huge in us getting a win.
Dan.
You hadn't brought Chapman into a game before the ninth yet. Was that just a natural fit right there with Ohtani coming up, or was there any hesitation on your part to do it?
No, it's not something I think we'll do a lot necessarily over the course of the regular season, but it is something that we want to do from time to time, so it's not foreign. And there's been a couple of times that we've identified going into the day that, hey, this is a day we might go 4 outs with Chappie. And today was one of those days, and the situation was kind of on a tee for us to go get him. And it was good to see him for the first time doing it this year go out and really respond.
And how do you think he attacked Ohtani in that situation?
It was a good battle. Ohtani had some good swings on him. But it was fun to watch those two go at it, and you could feel a little bit of electricity with those two. Ohtani put some good swings on them, but Chappie was able to finish them off.
Who else? Kenny.
Aaron, do you think it meant anything more to Gleyber to face Ohtani? I mean, right now they're the clear top 2 rookies in this league.
I don't think he even, unless you're asking him about it, I don't even think he considers that. I think he's enjoying playing the game, really dialed into his plan of attack, and so it probably wasn't that big a deal to him, I would imagine.
Billy, to your right.
Aaron was bringing Chapman in against Ohtani. Is that lefty, or is it just that you see Ohtani as a dangerous?
No, not so much lefty. With Chappie, it's really a wash. Maybe that factored in a little bit, but again, I planned on it was more the danger of Ohtani, us determining that this was maybe a 4-out night for Chappie. He was up and ready, and just felt like that was the move in that spot, and he responded.
And I imagine in your dugout you had a pretty good look at the ball that Ohtani hit down the left field line when it first left the bat. What was?
Yeah, I had a really good look. I saw pretty early it was slicing, but he got a good piece of it and put a pretty good swing on that ball. I mean, definitely got plenty of barrel on that ball, but you know, Chappie's velocity was enough for it to be just a little bit late. But I saw it slicing pretty early.
Ron.
You said with Gleyber, the intelligence and the instinct. There are a lot of kids to come up with intelligence and instinct. What do you see him in this last month doing that the others don't, for the most part?
There was a play a few weeks ago where was the end of a game. Chappie was on, and a guy was tying run, stealing second with 2 outs, and he's covering the bag, and just he was able to shut it down and in perfect position to make the play. Like he could almost read it, sense it, feel it. I don't know that a lot of guys come up with instinct. He's got it tenfold. I mean, you watch him play defensively and just the free and easy way he does it. Just kind of has a feel for reading swings defensively. The ability to, I think, be on the attack offensively hitting. So he's up there most times looking to do damage, but able to shut it down on pitches out of the zone when he is being uber aggressive. And that's a nice trait to have as a hitter. And that's part of because of the mechanics of his swing allow him to do that.
Mark, all the way to your right.
You believe that certain players are able to raise their games in tight situations just because Gleyber seems like a lot of these hits have been in really tight late game situations?
I think to a degree. Yeah, I mean, I think guys are better at slowing it down and kind of delivering their normal output, more inclined to take advantage of somebody else maybe making a mistake in a big spot. So I don't know if it's necessarily raising your game. I think it's more just it doesn't get going fast in a big spot or against a tough opponent that's making pitches against you, or and that doesn't always end up being results. It's still a game of failure, and they're going to get you sometimes. But it is the ability to just kind of slow it down, not allow any kind of moment overtake you.
Susan.
Severino today looked a little deliberate. What did you see from him?
Yeah, didn't have as great command. I thought he missed some spots a little bit, but I thought the stuff was pretty good overall. And I give the Angels credit; they really had some tough at bats against them. There are a lot of pitches. It's hard to tell sometimes from the side that felt like really good pitches that they took, especially with 2 strikes. I thought a couple guys laid off sliders down and out of the zone that are normally chase pitches with 2 strikes when guys are facing Sevy, and they were able to make him work really hard. I don't know what he ended up walking 4 or 5, but I don't think that was necessarily stuff oriented. I think it was more the Angels game plan wise were able to really lay off some tough pitches that you normally don't see guys lay off against Sevy with 2 strikes.